Hello. Today's topic is why do we live amidst suffering? Life is filled with many challenges, and sometimes the struggles we face can leave us feeling utterly exhausted. Have you ever asked yourself, why must I live when life is this painful? This is a question everyone has likely pondered at some point. What answers does Buddhism provide to this profound question? In today's discussion, we will explore the essence of suffering from a Buddhist perspective and delve into the reasons behind it. Furthermore, I aim to share insights on how to find meaning in suffering and the hope that lies beyond it. First, we will examine why Buddhism regards life as inherently filled with suffering. Then, we will explore the root causes of this suffering. Finally, I will provide some Buddhist wisdom on overcoming suffering and touch on the true nature of happiness. 1. Why is life full of suffering? One of the fundamental teachings of Buddhism is the concept of the Four Noble Truths, which include the acknowledgement of unavoidable suffering in life. The four sufferings refer to the pain of birth, aging, sickness, and death. To this, Buddhism adds another set of sufferings, resulting in the eight sufferings. These include the pain of separation from loved ones, Abetsuruku. The pain of encountering those we dislike, Onzoiku. The pain of unfulfilled desires, Gafudoku. The pain arising from the imbalance of body and mind, Ginjuku. Each of these forms of suffering is deeply intertwined with our daily lives and is an inevitable part of human existence. For example, losing one's health or parting ways with a loved one are universal experiences that no one can escape. But why must we endure so much pain throughout our lives? Buddhism attributes life's suffering to the principle of impermanence. Impermanence signifies that everything is constantly changing. Health, youth, wealth, relationships, and even our very existence are all transient. Nothing lasts forever. By understanding this impermanence, we can begin to grasp the true nature of suffering. 2. What causes suffering? Buddhism teaches that the root cause of suffering lies in our delusions, or kleshas. These delusions include desires, attachments, anger, and ignorance, mental factors that disturb our peace. For example, craving something and not attaining it can cause anguish, while harboring hatred or resentment can drain our emotional energy. The process by which delusions give rise to suffering is explained in the doctrine of the 12 links of dependent origination. This teaching illustrates how ignorance leads to desires and attachments, which in turn result in actions and ultimately suffering. For instance, the desire for more wealth or the need to be acknowledged by others often results in dissatisfaction when these desires go unmet. Even if we fulfill one desire, another inevitably takes its place, creating an endless cycle of suffering. 3. Buddhist wisdom for facing suffering. How can we overcome suffering? Buddhism presents a pathway called the Eightfold Path. This consists of right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Incorporating these practices into our daily lives allows us to live without being bound by suffering. For example, cultivating right view by focusing on our inner growth instead of comparing ourselves to others is a crucial step toward achieving peace of mind. Another essential concept is letting go of attachments. Buddhism teaches that clinging to possessions, people, or outcomes is the root of suffering. By reducing these attachments, we can liberate our minds and alleviate our pain. 4. Finding meaning in suffering. Is there any value in suffering itself? Buddhism encourages us to view suffering as an opportunity for growth. Through suffering, we can develop emotional depth and foster empathy for others. For instance, Failures and setbacks may be painful in the short term, but they often grant us new perspectives and opportunities for self-reflection. Buddhism emphasizes that while suffering is unavoidable, how we interpret and respond to it is what truly matters. 5. Discovering hope amidst suffering. Finally, how can we uncover hope amidst our struggles? Buddhism emphasizes the importance of living in the present moment. By focusing our awareness on the here and now, rather than clinging to the past or worrying about the future, we can free ourselves from the chains of suffering. Moreover, cultivating a compassionate heart is key to finding hope. By empathizing with others' pain and taking actions to alleviate their suffering, we not only lighten their burden, but also ease our own. Conclusion. Suffering is an inevitable part of life. However, by understanding its nature and facing it head-on, we can find deeper happiness. The wisdom of Buddhism offers us practical insights and tools to gradually overcome suffering and lead a more fulfilling life. I hope today's discussion has provided some comfort and guidance for your journey. Thank you for staying with me until the end.